I'm sports editor Jonathan McDonald. I'm with Tony Gallagher, and it's funny, for a couple of years, Tony, we did Tony Talk, the audio podcasts at the White Towel, and we haven't done them this season, and a lot of our readers have asked, when will Tony Talk come back?
A great demand.
There's a huge demand. So I thought we would actually do our first Tony Talk video cast.
Why not?
Tony, let's going into the Christmas break, let's talk quickly about a few issues. First of all, I want to play devil's advocate. The guy who has stood out now for a number of weeks for the Canucks is Ryan Kesler. So devil's advocate, why isn't he the captain of this team?
Well, I think at the time they made the announcement or had to make a choice, he was clearly not putting this kind of performance in front of everybody. And I think it could also be argued that Henrik Sedin has not had a great year. I honestly think that Henrik has carried him. I mean, their plus-minus isn't very good. They haven't achieved a great deal 5-on-5. Most of the successes come on this wonderful power play, of which Ryan Kesler's been a fairly significant part. And I think perhaps the C is wearing on Henrik just a little bit the same the way it did on Roberto Luongo, although the removal of C hasn't exactly absolved Luongo of all his difficulties. So we shall see how that goes on. But I think more in keeping with what happened with Luongo against Detroit, it's a fatigue problem creeping in again, and that's the thing they have to watch.
All right, so you're suggesting the C could be wearing on Henrik Sedin. The flip side is Henrik Sedin is 9th in the league in scoring. His brother is 5th in the league in scoring, and yet it was interesting. The All-Star voting numbers have been coming out on a regular basis, and the brothers, I think, are 23rd and 24th in All-Star voting. So the question is, and you know, in fact, they're behind two notable stars in the league, Sean Avery and Chad LaRose. And frankly, I don't even know who Chad LaRose is. But my question is this: you know, are they chronically underappreciated, or are our standards for the Sedins so high that perhaps they'll never be able to meet them?
You know, Jonathan, I think all things are true. The ones you've just mentioned are absolutely true, and also you have other factors at work. I mean, I don't think they've had their very best year. They also play together, which means that each time, every shift, Henrik goes out with another superstar. Daniel goes out with another superstar. But those numbers are way too low. I mean, let's face it, they should be much, much higher than that in the voting. And I would think that it speaks to the apathy of Vancouver fans with respect to that kind of voting as well. They just don't seem to get involved. There's no local campaigns to get voters involved on behalf of the Sedins. And I think a lot of those things are run by population size and many little campaigns that get started by various publications towards voting.
All right, let's cut ahead here to, you mentioned campaigns. Now, this is a bit of a surprise topic for you, Tony, but as you know, on occasion in the live chats, there are people who ask us, when is Tony going to be on Twitter? So, the surprise topic is this.
I'm thinking of maybe I will, you know, because, you know why? Because I think I'm missing stuff on that account, you know, so, you know, I don't know how many times I'll make a tweet, but I'm thinking I might get on just to read other people, you know, to read some of the stars. So, you know, I may be blowing your question, but you know, I've been slowly convinced to come over to the dark side and maybe get involved. But I can't promise people that I'm going to tweet everything that comes into my mind, because that's not a thing, my shtick. But and I'm apt to get myself in trouble. You know,
you're probably going to get yourself in trouble.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to say something stupid, and someone's going to be screaming at me, or the CRTC is going to be jumping up and down. And, you know, I'm always going to tick someone off.
But you know what's funny about this, Tony, is that you basically, what you've just done right now is you've even scooped Twitter. You're ahead of Twitter. The Twitter world doesn't know this yet.
I'm thrilled to announce it. Twitter scooped.
Well, but here's the funny thing. One of our readers, someone who's on.
You got to show me how to get on, by the way.
Not a problem. It's so easy. So easy. But one of our readers basically said he was going to start an online petition to have the real Tony Gallagher be on Twitter, because as you know, there is a fake Tony Gallagher who takes the best of Gallagher.
Why would anyone do that? Oh.
People have a lot of time on their hands.
They do. Far too much, evidently.
We just wanted to wish our readers a very Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad,
and Joyeux Noël.